Guelph Collegiate Vocational Institute, also known as GCVI, is the oldest high school in Guelph, Ontario, founded in 1854. The school has a military history as long as Canada has been a nation, which the school honors through our memorials. The first memorial stands at the corner of Paisley in Yorkshire, the Arch. Fully installed in 2018, the Arch commemorates 100 years since the end of the Great War. The Arch celebrates GCVI's 160-year history, including military history, which is represented in the red poppies. Continuing on, the vast majority of GCVI's memorials are inside the building. The first hallway to our right when entering the main floor is Valor Hall. Each plaque and parchment scroll pays respect to the GCVI alumni soldiers who served in different wars. Probably the memorial in Valor Hall which is most thought about is the installation named Lest We Forget, although most people simply call it the poppy. It is uniquely placed on the floor. An important tradition at GCVI is to step around the poppy to show respect for those who gave their lives in war. All other memorials in Valor Hall are placed on the wall. The oldest of these is a framed parchment scroll inscribed with the GCVI alumni who volunteered for service in the Boer War. The courage of the 7 GCVI alumni volunteers is recognized with this memorial. Lieutenant John McRae, author of the poem In Flanders Fields, is amongst these men. The second framed parchment scroll presents a list of 30 GCVI alumni who volunteered for service in the Great War. Although the service of many more GCVI pupils was received later in the war due to the introduction of conscription in 1917, the purpose of this memorial is to commend the courage of volunteers. Directly above this parchment scroll hangs the engraved bronze plaque which honors students and ex-students of GCVI who gave their lives in the Great War. A total of 36 names are engraved in this plaque, including Lieutenant John McRae's, who this next plaque is dedicated to. McRae's poem In Flanders Fields became the most popular poem of the Great War and is the reason why poppies symbolize remembrance today. McRae also had many other achievements, including being a medical doctor in the Great War as well as the Boer War. The section of wall to the right also features a painting of John McRae by artist Robert W. McCorkindale with a variety of painted poppies underneath. To the right again of John McRae's portrait is a painting by the artist Lance Russworm titled Rommel Under Attack, and the framed edition hanging at our school is signed by both the artist as well as Charlie Fox, the Canadian pilot who strafed Feldmarschall Desert Fox Rommel, Hitler's right-hand man. Although other French and American pilots have claimed credit for this action, a 2004 study concluded from data logs that Charlie Fox was in fact the pilot who strafed Rommel. Like every other name in Valor Hall, Flight Lieutenant Charlie Fox was an alumni of GCVI. The biggest plaque on the wall is the plaque which honors soldiers who gave their lives in the Second World War. There are 102 names on this plaque, each belonging to either a GCVI alumni or someone who was a GCVI student at the time. Amongst these men is Captain John Kenneth McAllister. His story was so striking that his own plaque was designated to him. McAllister was also a GCVI alumni. After graduating from GC, he became a graduate of the Law School of the University of Toronto. In 1937, he was one out of the 2 Canadian Rhodes Scholars, a prestigious award presented by the New College of Oxford, awarding a fully paid master's degree. When the Second World War started, he was recruited into the British Intelligence Corps. McAllister worked as a spy for the British and ended up being captured and hanged in a Nazi concentration camp. McAllister, along with 15 other Allied spies, were tortured for months, then hanged with piano wire. Stories like John Kenneth McAllister's remind us of the importance of memorials. Remembrance is to respect the emotions, sacrifice, and effort of soldiers. Yearly, about 400 grade 10 students take the mandatory history course. With some exceptions in the past 2 years due to lockdowns and restrictions, all students are taken down to Valor Hall to learn about these memorials. Every grade 10 history class also gets the chance to make a donation to the Juno Beach Center to engrave and install a brick through their commemorative brick program. Every brick is engraved with the name of an alumni of GCVI who died in service in the Second World War. So far, we have dedicated bricks for just over half of the 102 soldiers. The memorials of GCVI connect past students with current ones. Lieutenant Colonel John McRae also walked under the preserved stone arch, which now frames the entrance to our auditorium. The dents in the limestone stairs of the old building were equally eroded by us as any person on the honor roll plaque of the Second World War. A memorial is a cooperative effort not restricted by generation. The memorials at GCVI promote thoughtfulness every day in the hundreds of students and staff roaming through the century-old halls.